Part 4. Imagine fear as a raw, vibrating wire in your palm. If you panic, it shocks you and makes you drop the thing you were trying to build. If you steady your grip, route the current, and connect it to a machine, that same wire becomes power. The point is not to banish fear, you can't, but to reroute it so it charges your will instead of frying your wiring. This is the moment where people stop talking about courage and actually make it. First, understand fear as energy. The tight chest, the quick breath, the heat in your face, these are not messages from the universe saying stop forever. They are fuel. They mean your nervous system is primed. Decide, will you spend that fuel on rehearsing catastrophe, or will you spend it on action? The real practice is converting physiological intensity into forward movement. Start with an actionable algorithm you can use in the wild. Recognize, reframe, respond, repeat. Recognize. Name the physiological signs. Hear the inner narrative and label it. This is fear of failure. This is social anxiety. This is perfectionism. Naming is not therapy for the faint-hearted, it's a surgical tool. When you can say, this is fear of criticism, the statement removes the fog. It also allows you to choose a specific countermeasure instead of generic bravado. Reframe, shift the meaning. If your mind screams, this proves I'm not good enough, reframe to, this is evidence I care about what I'm doing, or this is proof I am near growth. Reframing doesn't lie, it translates. It tells the limbic system that the spike in adrenaline is associated with challenge, not catastrophe. You are teaching your brain a new language. Stress means opportunity. Respond. Take a move that costs less than the fear. Not a heroic leap, a measured step that is an honest signal to yourself that you will choose action more than avoidance. This is the discipline of the small stake. It's how giants are quietly forged. Make the move observable and irreversible, something that forces continuation. Ship the page, call the person, pitch the idea, set the meeting. Irreversibility reduces the room for endless reevaluation. Repeat. Do this until the new path is the default. Habits are the compound interest of behavior. Each tiny act of courage deposits a small amount of moral and psychological capital into your account. Over time, you can spend more freely. Discipline is the midwife of transformation. If you wait for inspiration to strike, you will wake up disappointed. Instead, schedule courage. Block time every week for fear training, a short, focused set of actions designed to expose you to your friction points. The training must be predictable, trackable, and slightly uncomfortable. Think of it as strength training for your nervous system. Lifts become heavier, resistance grows manageable. Your identity follows your practice. One practical structure, the 7-day exposure loop. Choose one fear. Each day, perform a micro-exposure, a deliberate, low-stakes act that nudges you closer to the feared outcome. Day 1, observe the fear and write a 100-word account. Day 2, share a one-line thought publicly. Day 3, ask for feedback. Day 4, do a small reveal of work. Day 5, accept one critique and note what you learned. Day 6, make a modest revision. Day 7, take a visible step. Publish, present, or pitch. The goal is not perfection. The goal is habituation. After one cycle, your nervous system will have new data. Willpower is not a mythical reservoir. It is muscle and system. You cannot rely on sole heroic acts. You must design environments that reduce friction for courageous behavior. Make the action the path of least resistance. If writing is your aim, open a document and place your cursor where you will start each day. If exercise is your fear, put your shoes next to the bed. Architecture matters. Set defaults that favor risk-taking. Use imagination with discipline. Visualization is not fluffy, it's tactical rehearsal. But rehearsal must be coupled with performance. Visualize the step, how you move, what you say, how you recover if it goes wrong, then practice out loud. Mentally simulate the repair plan for the worst case, then enact the micro-action. Visualization prepares the brain, the micro-action proves it. Another transformation tool is habit stacking. Tie a courage act to an existing ritual. After your morning coffee, send one outreach message. After dinner, write one paragraph. Small acts, consistently placed, become invisible over time. The stack removes decision friction and stokes momentum. There's also the power of reinterpretation. Convert fear into curiosity. Curiosity lowers the stakes. Instead of asking, "Will I fail?" ask, "What will I learn?" Curiosity turns threat into experiment. Experiments have hypotheses, metrics, and iteration. They don't require perfection. They require curiosity, which is more sustainable than courage alone. Disrupt the identity trap. If you say, "I'm not the type of person who," you freeze your future. Instead, act as the person you want to become for one day. Borrow their posture, language, and schedule. Fake it lightly until the neural pathways rewire. Identity is the echo of repeated acts. Choose acts that echo the person you want to be. Now, a tactical framework to convert fear into leverage. The F.O.R.C.E method. F. Frame the fear. Write one sentence that names it precisely. O. Outline the actual downside. Be specific and practical. R. Reduce the risk. List 3 mitigation moves that make the downside manageable. C. Commit publicly to one micro-action with a deadline. E. Execute and record the outcome. This framework converts vague dread into a project plan. Projects are tangible, feelings are not. When you turn emotion into structure, you shrink the imaginary monster. Remember the art of repair. People fear mistakes because they imagine irreparable damage. Prepare clear repair protocols for your most likely mistakes. If you send a poor message, prepare a clarifying follow-up. If you fail a pitch, schedule a debrief email. Knowing repair is possible lowers the paralysis threshold. Discipline also includes rest. You won't turn fear into fuel if you burn out. Create recovery rituals, sleep, movement, and time in nature. These reset your nervous system and increase your tolerance for stress. Balance is not softness, it's strategy. Finally, practice generosity toward yourself. Courage is messy. You will stumble. When you do, analyze without annihilating judgment. Ask what you learned and what you would change. Treat your growth like an iterative product with version updates. Now, your assignment to make this part real is to pick one fear and use the F.O.R.C.E method right now. Frame it in one sentence. Outline the worst realistic outcome. Name 3 mitigation moves. Commit publicly to one micro-action with a deadline, and make that action irreversible. Execute it within the next 48 hours. Then come back and record one sentence about what happened and what you learned. Write in the comments, what fear will you transform using F.O.R.C.E, and what is the one micro-action you commit to within 48 hours? Be specific. Say the fear out loud, name the action, and give your deadline. The community is waiting, and honesty here changes everything.